Hello, everybody. I'm going to talk a little bit about meditation, and I'll share a little of my own personal experience regarding meditation because there are so many kinds of meditation. Fundamentally, think of meditation as two primary divisions. Okay. One is a consciousness model, and the other is an energy model. So I'm a classic martial artist. The martial art that I practice is rooted in Zen, and the great masters who developed those arts usually were under, or almost all were under, great Zen masters of the day back in feudal Japan. So I have a background for Zen, specifically Linzai Zen. In Japan, they have Soto Zen and Linzai Zen. So samurai, they like Linzai Zen. Now, the fundamental thing about that type of meditation, it's a consciousness model, and it's similar to when you hear the word vipassana or mindfulness meditation, you'll hear that name. That's a consciousness model. So what is the similarity? Sitting very, very still, which is absolutely mandatory, and then uh, focusing on the breath. Okay, so they're focused on the breath, sitting very still, absolutely erect, head is up, eye quadrant is down, either slightly open, or closed, slightly open or closed, but the gaze is down directly in front of their body. And then they try to count their breath, usually the out breath, because the out breath is the most important. And that is the whole process. So what's so good about that? Two things. One, the most important of all is this posture, because the mind conforms to the posture. I want to say that again. The mind or the consciousness will conform to the posture. Don't think about it the other way around. It won't work. So that's very, very important. And then the reason they're following the breath is because the breath is constant. It's the one thing that's absolutely constant, which means it's the present moment, because it's always happening. Now, there's so many other things, of course, to the breath. That's we won't go into that because we'd be here all day. I could be here all day just talking about stillness, but it is the stillness, the posture, which is the most important part. And then eventually, if they're lucky and they really train and sit a lot all the time, their mind starts to become more and more quiet, and their consciousness of their breath and the ability to see thoughts coming and going, like my finger passing, the thoughts, they'll see this thought coming and going. So their job is follow the breath and non-judgmentally become aware of thoughts as they come and go. And that gives them the ability to disidentify with thoughts. because they will realize eventually that the thoughts don't belong to them. Thoughts don't belong to anybody. There's a sphere around the earth. It's the thought sphere. It's a field. And the thoughts come in and leave. And that's why your brain is an antenna system. That's what it is. So they're sitting absolutely still. I cannot overemphasize how important that is. Without that, they think their meditation is completely worthless. And then they have to follow their breath and non-judgmentally become aware of and watch thoughts come and go. Whatever thought it is, the content is not important whatsoever. So that is a consciousness model. And I was trained in a consciousness model meditation and practice for at least 30 years until I was introduced to energy meditation. So about 30 years ago, I was introduced to energy meditation, an energy meditation model, which was developed by Sarah Childrey. She's a doctor, and she called it HeartMath. Interesting name. Now, when you use an energy meditation, it's just like energy psychology. Depth healing is an energy psychology. It's a very advanced one. With an energy psychology, the effect is immediate and does not require high consciousness whatsoever. Anybody can do it. And it's simply focusing your breath in your heart for about a minute, imagining that your heart is breathing. And what they suggest is you can imagine with your mind that as you breathe, the air is actually moving in and out of your chest directly. So it's easier to find your heart. And I always put my hands one on top of the other over my heart area so I can breathe in my chest, in my heart, and it's easier for me because I can feel my chest rising and falling. So it's all just technique, imagination, posture, to focus your breath and attention in your heart. And then once that is achieved, all you do is concentrate on someone or something that allows you to easily generate your own feelings of love, gratitude, or appreciation. And those are in order, highest to lowest. Love is the highest. If you can generate feelings of love, you do that. Second is gratitude. Third is appreciation. And all you do for 5 minutes, 5 minutes is all that is required for baseline. And that baseline is enormously powerful and significant, both psychologically and physically. Here's what occurs, recorded from thousands of experiments through HeartMath Institute. And by the end of the 5 minutes of this energy meditation model, using feeling focused in your heart, the brain in your head, in your cranium, will entrain exactly to your heart rate variability rhythm. So your brain in your head will exactly entrain to your heart. Then the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for stress, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for health, will entrain together. Cortisol, the stress hormones, will drop 45%. DHEA, that is responsible for growth, will rise 45%. Secretory IgA, which is recorded in the mouth. It's the first line of your immune system in your mouth. It goes up as high as 295%. And all of that occurs within 5 minutes. And the real significance is that state, once it's created, will remain up to 4 to 6 hours. 4 to 6 hours. So later on, I'll talk about epigenetics. That is epigenetics on steroids. You're calm. You're in a state of coherence. So blood flows to the frontal cortex of your head where you think. So you think clearly, the brain fog goes away. You're calm. All 70 trillion cells of your body are on the same page, at the same frequency. Everything, all physiologic systems, cardiovascular, lymphatic, everything is happy and everything is healing. That's what an energy meditation does. The consciousness meditation, completely different. Completely and utterly different. And because it's the realm of the mind, what you will find with most people is that they're only, it's like an illusion. It's effervescent. As soon as they go back into the regular daily life, all of the various hundreds of trillions of environmental triggers touch off programs in the subconscious and nothing happens. That's why monks seclude themselves in monasteries and live ultra austere lives to try to limit environmental triggers. And then slowly, they're doing bucket work, cleaning subconscious, letting things dissolve. Takes decades. Not with energy psychology, not with energy meditation. Now, let's go back to the consciousness meditation that I was schooled in for many decades before I found energy meditation. What did I experience? Well, I had a couple of enormously powerful experiences as a martial artist, and they always occurred. So my picture, I'm getting sunlight. What occurred for me is when I was sitting in Seiza. So samurai, we sit in Seiza. I don't use Onza, which is sitting cross-legged. I always sat samurai way in Seiza. So kneeling on my knees. Absolutely still. And on many occasions, I would experience what Musashi Miyamoto, the great samurai, one of the greatest or most famous is Musashi Miyamoto. He called Iwao no Mi, body of a rock. What that meant, what I mean by that is, as I sat, remember in the first video I told you, posture is everything. It's everything. If you don't understand posture for especially consciousness meditation, you don't understand anything at all. It's absolutely the posture. So by sitting there and making myself absolutely still, and I tell myself I will not move. Nothing is going to move me. Period. And that doesn't just mean something's going to push me over. What it means is mentally, I am there, and irregardless of what goes on in the environment, I wonder if I can block that sun. No matter what goes on in the environment, what I hear, smell, anything moves, my eyes don't move. I'm locked in with on my breath, and I'm absolutely motionless. And what it does is the mind sinks down into the hara, and you reach this state of inner stillness, peace, and it has a feeling of enormous power because you connect with, or I connected with, the I am presence. When you reach or connect with the I am presence, you really are immovable. The only issue is it's experiencing a state, but it leaves. Sometimes I would be in it for, say, 45 minutes, sometimes for 3 or 4 minutes, and I would achieve it. And in that state of I am, you feel the connectedness with Earth, with Mother Earth, and with everything. You feel the connectedness. So I loved that state. I never achieved that state, to my knowledge, when I was moving. So I did hundreds of thousands of kata, hundreds of thousands. But within the kata, I never achieved that state. That state always came to me sitting in absolute stillness. Now, if I had ever become a great master, the great masters have that state while they're moving at ballistic speed. That is a great master. What they call masters these days are nothing. Now, one of the problems is you have to be able to see that kind of master. I did. I saw Yagyu Nobuharu Tada Toshimichi, 21st Grandmaster of the Oari Yagyu Shinkageru. I saw him. I studied under him. And he was like that. Anyway, now when we go to energy meditations, what did I experience? Well, one, my health improved dramatically. Two, my temper started to come down. Now, the meditation cannot remove the temper, but what it does is it helps with emotional stability, because you just generated yourself into a state of love and gratitude, and you can't be angry and be in love with gratitude at the same time. Can't do that. Try smiling right now. Put a huge smile on your face and be really angry. Just try. That is what I mean by the posture. The posture, the expressions on your face, the way you're standing up, the way you're sitting down, the way you walk, they all um, condition and qualify your energy, your mood, your awareness, everything. And these days, uh, with the superficial stuff that they teach, nobody even knows about the posture, except some of the older classic people. It's a huge mistake. That's why they have the states they achieve are nothing. And that's why they have to go to uh, some kind of psychedelic. No, no, no need. Not if you do the real thing. No, no need for any of that stuff. That stuff is all a crutch, and it creates illusions, delusions, nonsense. There is no such thing as any of the great masters of any spiritual tradition that does that. So anyway, that's always comical to me. So I wanted to share that with you, and I'm looking so forward to seeing you. Please go to my website, depthhealing.org. And, you know, it's still coming up on Christmas. We have discounts and, oh, there's so much. Special classes, workshop. We're doing a workshop, I think, in a week on meditation and brain reprogramming. And in a minute here, I'm going to make you a video on brain reprogramming. So stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.